to Akal.
Yeah.
Of course, let me just invite our viewers to a video and a speech by Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed and the youths as well, what they have said about the African Youth Leaders Summit. We'll be back.
Africa's journey to prosperity is inevitable. Many things are working in Africa's favor. By 2030, 40% of global youth will be African. The next generation of African and global leaders is sitting among us you. Africa's economic growth rate has ticked upward since the dawn of the new millennium. We are leapfrogging into the future at an accelerating rate. Startups, creative individuals, and innovations are flourishing in Africa.
We need to push forward this idea of Pan-Africanism. It's not just for our ancestors, it's not by our ancestors, it's also for us. Because the idea is that we propagate this idea that Africa is for us and we need to develop it by ourselves and ensure that we become an economic giant. Long before we used to be, I remember even Zimbabwe, my country used to be the bread basket of Africa.
The moment we are experiencing a new kind of colonialism, so it is now upon us, the youth, to make sure that we first and foremost decolonize our minds.
What young people must do, and myself included, is to ensure that the resolutions that we have culminate to action that will ultimately address the three challenges of the continent.
Keep being empowered, keep staying strong. This is our continent, this is our time. All of our ancestors spread blood and tears on this land for us to be here. We come from greatness, and let us understand and actually acknowledge it.
We're back, viewers. So, Akalu, let me continue with you that the main aim of the summit was to promote the Pan-Africanism vision and to bring, the Pan-African idea to the youths. And as long as you are also a Pan-Africanist, let's just talk about the Pan-Africanism specifically.
The concept of Pan-Africanism is very, very amazing as far as I know. It's all about changing the lives of the people. That's the concept, bringing together, putting all the continent countries together and then fight for their own problems to be solved. That is the idea. That was what our forefathers were fighting for. See, look at the Prime Minister's speech. It's a very strong speech and a very powerful. It's 8 minutes, it takes, I think so. And then within that 8 minutes, he transferred an amazing, powerful messages to those who are listening to him. Especially users need to understand that speech, and the leaders of Africa need to understand that speech. He touched the economy, right? Yeah. He talked about the technology, the innovation that Africa needs exactly, right? And then he talked about, productivity of agriculture, right? The e-commerce and everything, you see, those science, and that is what you are wishing, hoping for Africa to be, right? We have been burned up, we see, watching the Westerners, every, lovely things out there. So we can do it in here. That was what he is inspiring the users to be. And then he gave a hope for the users to be the future of this nation. We all are going to pass, right? Yeah. So the next generation is going to take over what is coming up. So telling that the hope for the users, they are going to be the leaders. He's trying to tell, to participate users in leadership. Youth should be involved in leadership. Look, when you have a young leader, look Thomas Sankara, look this Mr. Prime Minister Abiy, and then many others. And then look, Samuel Ruto, the energy that he has. So when you are getting very older, there is a wisdom, of course, but there is a new mindset. Just the technology, just the 21st century mind is there. You see, we need that. So that we are hungry of the African youth, are hungry of that. We don't want to just looking for other better life in the West and then Europe and then dying on the way, on the seas. You see, on the deserts. We don't need that. Why? Why don't they travel to migrate? The Westerns, maybe like the Europeans. Do they migrate to Africa? No. Do they see those old travelers that we see when they coming to Africa? No. They are in a peace, just, a very good hand we're taking them here, and then just that's okay. But what we need is, fair kind of share, mutual benefit. You don't have to take 90% of African resource and then give us 10. That's not working, okay? These users are already knew everything. We understand everything. So we need a change. A change means what he made a speech. Change is inevitable, he said, the Prime Minister, right? The change in Africa is not just inevitable. It's coming. In the future, all the eyes will be in Africa. Still it is there because Africa is full of everything. The richest continent on Mother Earth, right? So I can see that the speech was completely inspiring, and then latest the users to be wise enough to see their way. And also it tells us for all the leaders of Africa, and then it also tells us the European leaders to understand some kind of stuff. Yeah. These African people, these African leaders are coming up. So we have to negotiate peacefully. We don't have to